as they try to make their first finals appearance in over a quarter century. We will be with you for it all, live from our Hudson Square studio. Did that catch you off guard, Perk? You're feeling it a little bit. You're feeling it a little bit.
Almost got the boost.
We got some champions here. Kendrick Perkins, Amon Shumpert, Danny Green, the champion, the people's champ. You've been up from 8 a.m. get up all the way till SVP.
I don't got the rings.
Maureen would disagree. You're our champ here, Brian Windhorst. I'm Malika Andrews. Like Wendy, the basketball, it never stops. It feels like the champs, guys, they don't stop either. They're finally starting to look like the defending champions we've come to expect. The Thunder, they struck back last night. Maybe struck a little bit literally there. Mm-hmm. But the moment of the game, it came from Stephon Castle.
Get that baby out the street.
Hey, Sean, you want to see a dead body?
Duncan all over
Leave the cat.
Isaiah Hartenstein. We're going to have much more on that.
Look at
including Wemby's reaction later in the show. But meanwhile, SGA, he looked more like himself in the first half compared to game one here, Perk. He racked up 15 points, 6 of 11 shooting. He carried the Thunder here. But this was an important moment. Jalen Williams headed back to the locker room with hamstring tightness. He did not return to the game. Shams is here with more in just a little bit. But in the third quarter, the Spurs down 3. Wembanyama drives Brian, misses the basket, gets his own rebound.
So nasty. He knew he was going to miss. He chased it right away.
And by the way,
stats.
he became the first player since Kareem to average 30 and 20 over a 2-game stretch.
I did that with that edit.
You like that?
I like that.
And he's taller than Kareem there, too.
Dylan Harper, he comes down from this play a little awkwardly, right?
Bad news bears.
One more look.
Bummer.
Yeah, he would leave the game with a leg injury, and he didn't return. Life, though, with Wemby on the bench, that's when OKC was able to do their damage. Here.
Damn. And close that door.
Loses the rookie Carter Bryant.
Close that door. Wow.
And then the next Thunder possession, SGA dishes to Chet. Y'all were asking for more.
There we go, Chet.
SGA like that.
There you go.
So this has been the story, right? The Thunder shot 63% in the non-Wemby minutes, 44% when he was on the floor.
That's
so
huge.
to the final frame we go. SGA drives. Little floater high over Victor Wembanyama.
That's his bag, Perk.
That is his bag. But look, they did a great job, but I love this play right here where they able to clear out the side, get that isolation.
Yeah, Jared McCain was calling for the ball.
Calm down a little
Stuck
bit.
his foot in the ground like a Texas running back.
There you go. So the Thunder even up the series. Here's Shai after the game.
Waking up this morning, we were probably more desperate than they were. Like just naturally, because we had to get this game or else we go on the road down 0-2. Every team has their identity, and when they impose their identity more than the other team does, they usually win, no matter what level or what stakes are in the game. And tonight we just did a better job of that than we did in the first game, and that's probably why we came out on top. Tonight wasn't good enough to win the series, and we know that. So we'll take the W, but we got to keep getting better.
That's a pretty invigorated SGA.
I agree.
I don't typically hear him with that sort of authority right after games. There's a lot.
Not typically playing against Wemby either.
That may be true. There's a lot to dive into, Perk, I think, from this game. What do you say we start here with SGA?
Yeah, so they've double-teamed him 53 times in 2 games. So he knows it's coming every possession. And he was like a pitcher who was changing speeds. He was moving at different speeds. He was moving where he was going. He wanted to be unpredictable, so they couldn't get into a settled role where they were double teaming him, and that created lanes. He approached this game like somebody who didn't want to be double teamed. I felt in game 1, he allowed the double team to come. He's like, I'll just pass out of it. This one, he was like, I'm going to be the aggressor first.
Yeah, I thought that he did an incredible job. He must have just lived in the room watching film. I don't even think he went to the gym to get ready for game 2. I think it was all about watching film, learning how to pick his spots and say, these are the spots I need to get to. I think there was a conscious conversation that happened with Isaiah Hartenstein to say, hey, keep him engaged so I know where he at. I just need to know where he is so I can get to my spots. If you notice, game 1, they had a lot of times they put on the brakes just because they're looking for Wemby. They don't even know where he at. They're just looking for him and looking over their shoulder. Everything became decisive as soon as SGA got
No, you're right. And look, he's gonna have to continue to be great in this series. Like SGA, 25 or less, they're gonna lose the game. Yeah. If he scored 25 or less points, they're gonna lose the game. But I gotta show some love to the big fella.
Yeah.
I heard you earlier today saying it was the best best game he's had in his postseason career, Isaiah Hartenstein.
Come on now.
The man was in the trenches mixing it up.
Come
and
on
I know
now.
they got a lot of mad San Antonio Spurs fans out there and they feelings because he was touching up Wemby. But what you thought he was going to do? It was a must-win situation. And when you in the trenches, you go tangle up offensively and defensively.
Yeah.
I thought he did an outstanding job of holding Wemby up and letting Shai be able to operate, keeping the body on him. And he did the perk screen.
Like, I have to hold myself. I have to hold
Not the
myself.
side, the perk screen.
Perk screen.
Oh, yeah.
I have to hold myself accountable.
Wow.
Because a couple days ago,
Yeah, we talked about
the two wing defenders with the rings over here said, "Go big on Wemby," and I said, "I think the Thunder wings can hold it down."
Yeah.
Mark Daigneault, who's also got a ring, agreed with these two guys and went with the big man. And Hartenstein's impact on this game was enormous
Without a
on
doubt.
Wembanyama.
Without a doubt.
Look, you're never going to beat him going the same way. They're going to probably go back. But Wembanyama in game one was dominating in the paint.
Everywhere.
He had 13 baskets in the paint in game one. This is how you get to 41 points. All this drives against those wings because that's what they did. They were just trying to body him. Then last night, with Chet Holmgren and Isaiah Hartenstein as the primary defenders, he couldn't get in there. Look at how much fewer. Look, not just the makes. Okay, obviously the makes are different. Look at the attempts.
Right.
How many fewer interior attempts? And with the injuries to the perimeter players, he's going to need to do this even more. And they're going to, I think, stick with Chet and Isaiah on him.
Yeah, I mean, again, we spoke about it the other day. You were like, Chet's got to take the challenge. I don't want to see Isaiah Hartenstein. I said, there's got to be a mix. They did some guards, they did some bigs, but Isaiah was huge on impact, and mainly not just by keeping him away from the basket, but his offensive rebound. You guys can play the clip of how active he was on the glass. Him giving him second opportunities. He had 8 offensive rebounds.
Man.
Obviously, he's shooting that floater from the free throw line, from behind the basket, but this is where he impacted the game the most. Because when Wemby goes to help, you got a free lane to not only cut for dunks, but to get your team a second opportunity. He just kept the ball alive by getting on the glass. Did you see roaming around? Wemby's off the floor right now, but these are opportunities for these guys to get another chance at on goal. Setting screens, rolling hard, giving Wemby body, boxing him out. Look, now Wemby can't catch the ball because he's being physical with him. Again, same thing right here. Gets into his body, spins off of him, giving him a little touch physical, push him into the basket.
Engage.
Another opportunity, gets fouled, screams in the crowd, gets the crowd into it. Game one, the crowd wasn't into it because Wemby took the crowd out of it. But this guy brought the energy, brought the juice, and gave him second opportunities on the glass.
But yeah, that's what I like about it. They made him have to be part of the primary action. So it's like, okay, cool. You can go over there to help. But every time you go over there to help or do something, we're going to you're now the mistake. So now Wemby gets to go back and he has to make his adjustment personally to say, hey, this is what they're doing to me to keep me away from the game. How can I still do my thing and get mine, but be there for my teammates without making an error? Because that's what they're doing now. You do that, you run over there, chase behind that, we're going to duck that in. Now, as soon as you get out of that action, the rebound might not come to Isaiah this time, but you damn sure about to be 15, 16 feet away from the rim now.
Well, look, SGA, Isaiah Hartenstein get all the praise in the world, rightfully so. But we damn sure not about to start this discussion without mentioning Alex Caruso.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Alex Caruso, he's been the second best player on the Oklahoma City Thunder in these conference finals. And the way he's been producing on both ends of the floor, he's knocking down three-point shots. But when you talk about being a game changer, when you talk about coming in and stepping in the big moments, like he's already, to me, just from watching him in this series and in this postseason, he's top 5 role players of all time.
Come on.
I'm putting, real talk, I'm putting him up there with Robert Horry, Derek Fisher,
There you go.
Danny Green.
Okay.
Like in order to make that top 5, you got to have multiple rings.
Yeah.
He has 2 championships. On the Lakers, he was a huge X factor. And it just brings me back to the moment of last year in the semifinals against Jokic in Game 7. How he's just a Swiss Army knife. This man will cut you everywhere but loose. So I'm looking forward, right? We don't know the status of J-Dub, but can Alex Caruso bring 24 points, per game that he's averaging at the crib, can he bring that on the road?
Well, we don't, but I know someone who may. We were talking about the physicality of these games, and there have been casualties to that, as you mentioned. J-Dub is one of them, also Dylan Harper. So let's turn to our senior insider, Shams Charania. We saw both of those guys leave this game early here, Shams. What do we know about both Dylan Harper and J-Dub's status here for Game 3 and beyond?
Malika, I'm told Jalen Williams underwent MRI late Wednesday night after the injury took place, and doctors are evaluating the imaging on that MRI today. His status for Game 3 is up in the air. The evaluation is ongoing here today, but clearly his status will be up in the air because there's this is now 2 hamstring injuries in less than 1 month in that same left hamstring. And remember, during the course of the regular season, he also missed extended time with a right hamstring strain. So both hamstrings have been implicated at different points so far this season. On the other side with the San Antonio Spurs, Dylan Harper underwent an MRI on his right hamstring earlier today. The Spurs are awaiting word on the diagnosis from that MRI. He played 25 minutes in Game 2 before the injury. He started in Game 1, but we'll know soon here, potentially before the end of this show, on both J-Dub and Dylan Harper.
All right, and Shams, we will continue to check in with you as these 2 injuries become a little bit more crystallized and we understand what their diagnosis could be and how long they could miss. Appreciate the insight here. Coming up, though, let's get to the East, because if you missed Kenny Atkinson's comments about